I've got a question. Can you play mridanga also,
Oh, yeah.
as well as he?
But not, no, I can play.
Basic.
I don't play that good.
Basic. You can keep the beat though, right?
Yeah, but I haven't learned Mridanga.
Huh?
I haven't learned Mridanga, no.
No, harmonium. That's your thing.
I haven't really learned like harmonium or Mridanga, but like,
But you're focusing on harmonium.
yeah.
Are you left-handed or right-handed?
So for Mridanga and harmonium, I'm left-handed.
Yeah, I noticed. That's why I asked. Because usually it's the other way. It's fine. I'm left-handed.
I can play right-handed, but like,
You're ambidextrous. Where's your father?
He writes with his right, but he plays with his left. He doesn't
I put you on the spot. I won't bother you anymore. Well, today's a big day, Christmas Day, right? So, a few things just like Christmas warm-up. I invite you at some point in time, you can use your word search in Folio and type in Shaktivesh Avatar and Jesus. And you know how many hits there are? Like something like 65 or 80 or something like that. Because repeatedly, consistently, Prabhupada spoke of Christ in relation to our activity. Buddha is also, those two names consistently. Shaktivesh Avatar. And in many cases, Prabhupada would say, he's our guru. When people that, I'm going to read something, someone that's, wants to catch the Swami off guard, they'll ask off guard kind of questions. And he was very consistent. He didn't get off guard or imbalanced. And consistently also, in case there's some confusion about it, the Prabhupada expressed, Shaktivesh Avatar means a jiva who is invested with power or potency or Shakti by the personality of Godhead to do certain things. Then in a general sense, or a very broad general sense, anyone who's engaged in disseminating the message of Krishna Bhakti, that's a Shaktivesh Avatar, because to do that, it takes empowerment to do that. And one who is engaged in that way gets empowerment, so they're, greater degree, lesser degree, but Shaktivesh Avatar. So you're all Shaktivesh Avatars, isn't that nice? It makes you look around the room a little differently than... Are you left-handed or right-handed or something like that? So here's a little excerpt. This is Srila Prabhupada, 1967. So shortly after he came to the West. And he's in Los Angeles, 1967. And a celebrated recorded TV show, Les Crane Show. Prabhupada is one of the speakers, and there's a Christian fellow who's one of the speakers. Crane walked over to the Swami and, thrusting a microphone at him, asked, this is Mukunda Maharaj, do you think Jesus Christ can save souls? Prabhupada, oh yes, certainly. Why not? He He is the Son of God, isn't it? Walking quickly back to Dr. Morgan, the leader of the Campus Crusade for Christ. Campus Crusade for Christ is fanatical Christian group. Fanatical Christian group. Do you think people can be saved by Krishna consciousness? He doesn't answer the question. Jesus Christ walked a very narrow path. He answered. He said, we have to come to the Father through him. Les Crane, are you saying that the people who take the Swami's religious route can't be saved? He asked the question again. The Campus Crusade leader squirmed and frowned. No, I didn't say that. It's just that we have a very narrow path to walk. He's dodging the bullets. Do you think that someone can go to heaven by following scriptures like theirs? Les Crane asked. The Bhagavad Gita. He turned and looked over his shoulder at the Swami. Did I say it right? The Swami smiled and moved his head, as if to say, not really, but it's not important. Campus Crusade fellow. Everybody who comes to our prayer meetings feels the presence of Christ and becomes transformed. I can vouch for that. I've been there. Still no answer to his question. Crane spun around and, still gracefully wielding his microphone, bounded over to the Swami. Do you think anyone can go to heaven through the Bible? Yes, Swami answered immediately. Any word of God. The Bible? Yes. The blue neon light above us came on. 5 seconds to commercial. Well, we'll be right back with the Swami and the Campus Crusade for Christ. Crane said, don't go away. Oh, his profession is to stir up controversy. And that's it for our little appreciation, Prabhupada's appreciation for Christ and, observing his appearance day, Shakti Vaishnavatar's appearance day, our Guru's appearance day. Of course, Guru in the broad sense, one who's carrying Krishna's message. So today, part 2 of Kaliya-damana-lila. Are there persons here today that weren't with us 2 days ago, evening? Premananda, you were here? Yeah, no, you were there on... Yeah. Okay, you're raising your hand. Anyone who wasn't with us on Tuesday? Today's Thursday, right? 2 days ago. Well, 2 things. One was I asked for some homework question to be done, but I got the answer myself. So the question was Gopastami. You know what Gopastami is? Do you know what Gopastami is?
Isn't the day he graduated from couch to couch?
You got it. So it's on our Vaishnav calendar. Gopastami, Ashtami, Gopa Ashtami, is when Krishna turned 6. He graduated from 5 and he became 6. And there was a big festival where Nanda Maharaj so it's still in our Vaishnav calendar. Gopastami, when Krishna graduated from the calves to the cows, because it was the family that's their function. They're cowherd men And he's the king of the cowherd men, and his son is going to become a cowherd instead of a calf herd. Big festival. So it was in the previous chapter. So that was one. Then another is review. Where did we end up with part 1? Who can remember? I can remind you. I'll remind you. No one's. You're volunteering.
Krishna started dancing on Kaliya.
No, not yet. Not yet. He's going to do that. He didn't dance yet. That's today. He's going to dance. Sitting there, and he's looking at Kaliya, this very formidable figure, and looking really angry, and you're in my lake, my territory. So, envious. And now we're ready for part 2, right? It's a really nice section. So, a prayer to the crusher of Kaliya, and hopefully the sound system is going to work. We'll find out quickly. Down a little bit.
Kaliya-damana-lila mama Tadvikrantastvamuditada Dvandvapankhiruhankam Tadvikrantastvamuditada Dvandvapankhiruhankam Tandave
O Lord Krishna, with its crooked motions and the sharp fangs of its wicked desires, the great snake of my mind torments the entire world. Oh, all-powerful Lord, crusher of Kaliya, please punish that snake with your dancing. Please place on it the mark of your lotus feet. So Krishna's in the coils of the Kaliya serpent. The Vrajvasis are starting to assemble near this lake. Radha, it means lake, Kaliya lake. When some of the members of the cowherd community saw him enveloped in the snake's coils, motionless, they were greatly disturbed. They had offered Krishna everything, their very selves, their families, their wealth, wives, and all pleasures. It's the next verse. At the sight of the Lord in the clutches of the Kaliya snake, their intelligence became deranged by grief, lamentation, and fear, and thus they fell to the ground. So, seeing the inauspicious omens, this is what coming attractions. Nanda Maharaj and the other cowherd men were fearful. One source says some messenger went running from the lake all the way to Nandagram. That's quite a distance. And with the alarming message, your son is in the coils of this Kaliya serpent. And here it's saying they just saw omens and they understood something very inauspicious. Because they had dedicated their minds to Krishna, accepting him as their very life, they were aware of his great power and opulence. Thus, they rushed out of the village, intent upon finding him. Those are nice pictures of the whole this assembly of all the residents and families and this and that's, running from Nanda Maharaj's palace, heading for Kaliya Lake, heading for the Jamuna. 3 inauspicious signs appeared in Vraja. On the earth, earthquakes. In the sky, meteors falling. In the body, twitching of the left eye. If you're a reader of signs, that's one. Better watch out. No meteors, no earthquakes, but your left eye twitching. Though there can be nothing inauspicious for the Lord, in order to indicate the lamentation of the inhabitants of Vraja, the Devatas in charge of earthquakes and other disturbances did this. Or, being attracted to the intimate mood of Vraja, out of affection for Krishna, to make his Aishvarya become forgotten, they produced omens indicating misfortune for Krishna. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur always has something very interesting to say. So Jiva Goswami, Sanatana Goswami write similarly. The cowherds took Krishna as their dearest friend, Priyasaka. Their hearts melted out of natural, straightforward affection. They offered themselves, friends, including their fathers and brothers, wealth, these are boys, what wealth, family, and goals of their present life and the next to help him. Take whatever we have so that you're safe. Afflicted with lamentation and fear, they then lost their discrimination. They fell to the ground like uprooted trees with no action. Because they fainted, they did not enter the lake. And then they stop fainting and they start to run for the lake, and Balaram stops. Though they, same commentaries, though they fell in places where the water overflowed, they were not affected by the poison, for Krishna made the lake devoid of poisons, just by his touching it. Krishna remained motionless to show Kaliya's wives their husband's faults, so that he would be removed from the lake. So there's a hint that the wives are going to appear. But he's giving a sign for them also. Distress of the animals. The animals crying loudly in pain, as if weeping and uttering human words while shedding tears, stood there. The cattle, with the highest affection, were stunned because of intense grief. I mean, it's like death, but he's not. It's not dead. He's in the coils of this terrible serpent. Next verse. The Supreme Lord, Balaram, the master of all transcendental knowledge, smiled and said nothing. when he saw the residents of Vrindavan in such distress, since he understood the extraordinary power of his younger brother. Jiva Goswami writes, disaster could not happen if Balaram was present, since he was fully capable, affectionate, and profound, and always occupied with helping Krishna. So, why did Balaram smile? Because he knew Krishna is going to take care of the problem. Because he was omniscient, and particularly had appeared in the dynasty of Madhu, or Madhava, and thus they knew the powers of his younger brother, and thus knew. So Madhava, there's some ancestors, Andaka, Vrishni, and Bhoja, and Madhava, or Madhu. These are in the lineage of Krishna and Balaram. So, since he appeared in that lineage, he knew, because he's omniscient, he knew the intentions of his brother to punish Kaliya. He smiled in order to lighten their lamentation and to assure everyone that he knew Krishna's intentions. Or, his laughter and silence is an indication of Shukadeva Goswami's anger in love towards Balaram. He was supremely independent, but doing nothing. Right. He was a drinker of honey, Madhava, and strong, Bala, but not intelligent. Otherwise, why would he leave Krishna alone? No, it's not an offense, don't worry. Why did Krishna and Balaram allow their loving devotees to suffer such great anguish when they saw Krishna in the coils of Kaliya? The inhabitants of Vrindavan were completely liberated souls. They did not experience material emotions. When they saw their beloved Krishna in apparent danger, their love intensified to the highest degree. And thus, they merged completely into the ecstasy of love for him, manifest as disaster. The whole situation must be seen from the spiritual point of view, or it will not be seen at all. No, it says BBT because Prabhupada ended his commentary on the Bhagavatam in a previous chapter. So that means it's no longer Prabhupada's purports. It's BBT purports, which means two main people and their team, because they have some helpers. Hridayananda Maharaj and Gopi Pranadhana Prabhu, and then some other Sanskrit people, Nitai and others. So they kind of work collaboratively. But some of the language, those of you that are a little familiar with Hridayananda Maharaj and his writing style, he kind of prevailed. Because that's the kind of person he is. And his language is, he has his fingerprints. Krishna is not interested, Vishwanath. Krishna is not interested in playing with me, Sheshanag. Rather, he gets enjoyment from playing with common material snake. Vishwanath. Are you occupied? Do you need your phone? Okay. Oh, taking notes. I thought you were texting or something like that. Okay. Pardon me. Thunderbolt and flag. We saw this yesterday, right? No, 2 days ago. My dear King Parikshit, seeing his footprints on the path among the cows' hoofprints, the residents of Vrindavan rushed along in great haste. They saw his footprints everywhere. Tatra, tatra, where he had stepped. Why were footprints not erased? Since he, surrounded by friends, had tread there long before. Why had the animals and birds not erased the prints? He was the master, or pati, of all living beings. The earth preserved those prints as her ornaments. These commentators, they should be in the Les Green show. Try to catch them in the... This is the second time they fainted. No, they're feeling great distress. Seeing Krishna motionless in the coils of the serpent in the lake, they asked the boys, "Tell us what happened. Did Kaliya snatch Krishna from the bank and pull him in the water? Or did Krishna jump from the bank into the water? Was this his own idea or someone else's order?" Seeing that the boys wanted to answer but were not able to because their minds had stopped functioning, Nanda and the other cowherd men and women became even more stunned than the boys. Little boys are commonly, more than sometimes, very talkative. And they were speechless. Their minds were out to lunch. This is these paintings that look in this style. This is an illustrated publication for children, and big children too. But so it's it's a certain group. So there he is with his many mouths and Krishna in the coils. When the young gopis, whose minds were constantly attached to Krishna, saw him in that condition, they remembered his loving friendship, his smiling glances, and his talks with them. Burning with great sorrow, they saw the entire universe as void. This is directly Shukadeva Goswami speaking. And a nice painting. Jiva Goswami writes, Krishna was full of all powers, Bhagavate. Was more dear, Krishna is especially the most dear. The idea that they were failing to recognize the scientific facts about Krishna due to their overwhelming burden of love. Deprived of their dearmost Krishna, this is Sridhar Swami's commentary, they saw the three worlds empty. Although the elder gopis were feeling just as much distress as Krishna's mother, they had to be forcibly held. They had to forcibly hold her back, standing like corpses. This is the verse. Standing like corpses, with their eyes fixed on his face, these gopis. Poor Mother Jasoda. We will enter the huge lake of the snake with Yashoda. It is not proper for us to return to Braja. What is day without the sun, night without the moon, and what is the cow without the bull, and what is Braja without Krishna? Without Krishna, our return to Gokula would be incomplete. Where Jiva Goswami's commentary, where Krishna with the complexion of the blue lotus is absent, it is like a forest having a lake without water? Oh Yashoda, not seeing Krishna, who has lotus eyes, how could the wretched people continue living in the village? Since the unlimited treasures of our minds have been captured by his sweet speech, without lotus-eyed Krishna, we will not go to Nanda Gokula. Oh, cowherd women, look at his smiling face when he looks at us, even though he is held in the coils of the king of snakes. Seizing Yashoda, the mother of Krishna. Seeing Yashoda try to jump into the river, elderly gopis took her by the arms as she was still barely conscious and washed her face covered with sweat and tears in loud voices. They began to recite stories about the dear boy of Vraja in order to revive her. Vishwanath. Next verse. Lord Balaram then saw that Nanda Maharaj and the others were beginning to enter the serpent's lake. Lord Balaram fully knew Lord Krishna's actual power, and therefore he restrained them. You see the painting, he's just got his arm stretched, his left arm stretched because his right arm is holding his plow. Just stop. Balaram prevented Nanda and the others from jumping into the river. Garga, quote, Garga, this is Garga Muni gave a prophecy at the time of Krishna's birth. Garga has said that you will be saved from all obstacles by this son. Keeping this in mind, don't you think he will be saved from this danger? Just be patient. If, after you all jump in the river, Krishna comes back, who will take care? Who will care for and raise my little brother? Balaram speaking. You will be neglecting Garga's order to take care of the boys well. How will he be raised? This was Balaram's reasoning. Good reasoning. So here's verse 23 with some color-coded words. Swa Gokulam. Swa Gokulam means his community of Gokula. Ananya Gatim, having no other goal or shelter than him. And finally, Ati Dukitam, Atma Hetaho, extremely distressed on his account. It's hard to picture, but we can try to picture. It's not just, it's transcendental. It's not just, here's this little boy, and poor little boy, and he's in difficulty. Oh, what are we going to do? So then that's distressful. But Krishna's their life and soul. They're pure devotees, and Krishna's in the coils of the Kaliya serpent. And after fainting twice, how they maintain their equilibrium, or like it said, Yashoda started going mad. Here's some further description. Itam means he saw all the people of Gokula in that condition of bewilderment, Balaram, or it can mean being grieved by the lamentable condition of his people. Why did he rise up? This is Krishna. He accepted that he was the cause, Atma Hetuhu, of their intense suffering. Ati Dukitam. Therefore he rose up. So Krishna is now going to get free from the coils of the Kaliya serpent. Seeing that they had no other resort, Ananya Gatim, and understanding completely the sorrow of his own inhabitants of Braja, after remaining for a muhurta, 2 hours, in a motionless state, in order to increase the fighting spirit of Kaliya, Krishna was motionless as if paralyzed with fear. But it was a trick. Krishna said, Vishwanath, you have shown enough of your strength to me. Now I will show you just a little prowess of my own. Even though I'm just a cowherd boy. Saying that, he broke free from the snake and stood up. Now it's said he made his body bigger and bigger and bigger, and the coils of the Kaliya serpent expanded and expanded and expanded. The snake can have a capacity to do, but it became too much. And he was in so much pain at how much Krishna's body was expanding that suddenly he contracted and popped out. Very clever. In case you have to get free from a Kaliya serpent. Why did he remain there for some time? He followed the conduct of letting people see the fault of the person whom he would punish. The Lord remained for some time within the coils of the serpent, imitating the behavior of an ordinary mortal, but when he understood that the residents of Gokula were in acute distress, he immediately rose up from the bonds of the Kaliya serpent. Now, Kali's getting upset because he's going to pop out of his grip. So another song. Look at this.
Kaliyasya panaratna kurtimam Jayan pada saroja ghatanai Mangalani vitanotu tandave Panditastava shikhanda shikhara.
And we'll do it one more time so you can, so you can sing along. Oh, Govinda. Oh, come on. Where did it go? There. No. Hare Krishna. I'll stop complaining. It's very sensitive, this computer. I just touched something and jumps. That's not it.
All the way to the end, Maharaj.
What?
It was all the way to the end.
All the way to the end.
Second.
Oh, okay. Second to the last line. Well, there's the end.
No, one more.
One more?
One more row on the bottom. There you go.
Oh. That's it? Okay. Guess what? Here we go again. Mangalani Vinod Turandivek. May Lord Krishna, who wears a peacock feather crown and is the expert dancer who with his lotus feet kicked the jeweled hoods of Kaliya, grant auspiciousness to you. And it was the end. That's the end. That's why I got baffled. As Prabhupada was composing earlier portions of the Bhagavatam, the whole of the Bhagavatam and all of his writings, he knew very well, at least as time progressed, that they would be translated to so many different languages. So his platform was speaking to the world. Of course, his personalism by visits and interacting with audiences of different categories and classifications and cultures and languages and everything, highly personable, and their lives were irrevocably transformed by his personal association, but also through his books. And many persons that didn't meet him will not meet him because he's no physically present, but through his books, lives have been transformed just by, in so many languages all around the world. In other words, book distribution is very important. Book publication, very important. Book distribution, very important. Of course, modeling what's in the books, that's also very important. It's our principal access to our founder Acharya, or by his, of course, through sound. He made recorded lectures and everything, but primarily through his books, because everything is there in his books. Just this morning, I was listening to a translation of, or a recording of a translation of Prabhupada speaking in English, and a German translator, and it was really ABC, but profound. For people that don't really know, it's profound. And he didn't go too fast. He went very slowly. But the message is, if one hears and understands even one of those simple elementary lectures, you're fixed for life on the path of bhakti. And it keeps going and keeps going and keeps going, unfolding, maturing. Okay, Kaliya serpent. Christmas Day. Anybody wants to contribute something to this topic, or questions or comments? Yeah. Go ahead. Just use your voice.
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna.
We can hear you. I can hear you.
Thank you for such an enlightening class, Marge. Marge, I wanted to ask about the commentaries of Acharyas on the text of Srimad Bhagavatam, on the original text of Srimad Bhagavatam. Like when we read Bhagavatam, so there is the original translation of Srimad Bhagavatam, and there is the realization of Acharyas.
Yes, that's right.
So in that case, which is the ultimate? So let's say
You know the answer to that.
Bhagavatam.
Yeah. Let me ask you a question. Vyasadev's realization, Acharya's commentator realization. Did Vyasadeva personally experience all this? It's his realization. Some things were revealed to him. Of course, he's the Shaktivesh avatar, right? And so past, present, and future were fully within his grip. No problem. And he wrote it. He was empowered to write it. And our acharyas, one could say the same thing. maybe, not, you hook them up to a Shaktivesh avatar meter, and what number does the meter show? But they're writing not fiction. They're writing things that are revealed to them. No, they're Sanskrit scholars, so some of their writing is, this phrase can mean this. This same phrase can mean that. It can mean 16 other things. It's not just, showing their erudition in Sanskrit, because they wouldn't mention something that can be understood with, it's not a proper understanding. In other words, revelation. So the Bhagavatam itself, they're commenting on the Bhagavatam itself, because it's one of the 18 Puranas, foremost among the 18 Puranas. It's Shastra. And their commentary is not the same. But their commentary is the same in another sense, because it's their realization of the pastime, or the activity, or the conversation, or whatever's going on. Things are being revealed to them. They have that capacity. Now, are there other commentators that may not have that same capacity? Yes. And then it goes down a notch, because the intimacy in their relationship with Krishna isn't the same, but the commentators that are worthy commentators to read, they're consistent with the cyclic succession. They align themselves with the predecessor acharyas into cyclic succession. It's different than what a scholar might do. I mean, Prabhupada he would take the boxing gloves off sometimes, and just with his fist, let him have it. With names. I won't mention the names because I'm not Prabhupada, but very explicit. Really? That one too? That one too. And then the criterion was they had some realization, they had some experience, they had something, and they certainly had charisma, and they had followers, but they weren't in disciplic succession, and so Prabhupada just dismissed them. So now back.
Have this ebb and flow, like a good drama, where there's the ecstasy of, the cowherd boys playing with Krishna, and then there'll be a demon, and then there's all this lamentation and distress. So it seems like the spiritual world is a realm of emotions.
Yeah.
And what was the key point, it seems, was this phrase Atma Hetoho, where yes, there's these distressful emotions, but they're in response to Krishna, what the residents of Vrindavan are perceiving as Krishna's distress. And then Krishna, seeing the distress of those residents, then responds, and he's experiencing emotions. So both of those are, they're feeding off of each other's emotions. Because I was thinking, in my situation, being in a woman's body, being a mother and a wife, emotions can be very easily accessed. But that's the difference, is these are very self-serving emotions, versus in the spiritual world, these emotions are just so very Krishna-centered, and then Krishna and the devotees being the recording. And one thought that comes to my mind, Guru Maharaj, is it's very easy to get caught up in productivity and exhaustion and doing japa and then moving into, reading and then serving in the temple. But actually, the essence of all of this we see through the example of the resident of Vrindavan is emotion that is invested in that. So it's very, I'm very grateful to you for just going so slowly through the emotions and actually allowing us to experience the ebb and flow ourselves of the drama.
What do you think? Do you agree? Okay. I agree. Now, a metaphor that I like is the movements of a river. And the river keeps flowing. Like your comment is, from Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, it just flows. And the flow is rasa. I mean, there's the story, and there's the tattva, and there's this, and there's that, and it's just Krishna's reciprocating. He appears once in the day of Brahma to engage in pastimes with his eternal associates and with those who have become siddhas by sadhana, and he's engaging with them in varieties, stimulating varieties of emotion, and his emotions are being in a variegated way stimulated as well. He is, and he stimulates. He is rasa, and he stimulates rasa. And it keeps flowing like a river. And he's all-knowing. And, how can you be all-knowing and then, even before something happens, you know what's going to happen, and then there's surprise. It's beyond our experience, for sure. But it's rasa, that's for sure, also. And the mystery is nice. It's not Sherlock Holmes or something. It's a mystery, the mysterious pastimes of Krishna, and it becomes addictive. Like I want to read more. I want to hear more. I want to. And then our acharyas, they stimulate that emotion by their emotions. It's a nice world to live in. Pure devotion. Okay. Someone else. Yes.
Hare Krishna. I wanted to share something first and then ask a couple of questions. A few weeks back, I had the good fortune to go to Guruvayur.
Oh.
And, we were waiting in the line. There were hundreds of people ahead of us. There was elephant procession and lots of pomp, and, the Lord entered the temple. And, and it gets narrow and narrow and it's dark. And suddenly, for a moment, we were able to take darshan of Guruvayurappan, who was in the form of Kalingan, the same picture that you showed us. And that moment, and immediately we were, ushered out of the temple. But that moment when we took the darshan of the deity, it stayed in my mind. And I have visited Guruvayur many times before, but this particular time, seeing the form of Krishna as as the dancing on top of Kaliya's hood was so attractive, and here listening from you and going deeper into the pastime, I'm filled with gratitude and awe. So the question is two things. One was from the verse.
Let's hear it. The deity is the deity of Krishna dancing on the hoods of Kaliya serpent.
No. He is, he is standing, but every day they decorate him with sandalwood paste.
Uh-huh.
So, his left arm was outstretched and he was holding the tail of Kaliya. His left leg was bent and the right was, and his eyes were big and beautiful, and it was all in sandalwood paste. The temple was dark. There were lamps around him, so you could only see him from the
Shadows.
from the light that was coming from those lamps, and it was just stunning, absolutely stunning. So I feel at that moment I felt like if there is any appreciation, it is because of listening to Srila Prabhupada all these years.
Yeah.
Because before that I've been to Guruvayur and never had such an experience. And here I'm listening to you and I'm feeling very grateful.
Prabhupada. Okay, let's move to your questions.
The two things.
Do you have a picture of the deity?
We're not allowed to take.
Is there such a thing? You find out
Sure.
if there is such a thing.
Yeah.
Because maybe they sneak one or something and sell it or something like that. Go ahead.
I forgot one of my questions, but
We can come back.
the other question was, I was curious when Krishna, he said, he prolonged this, being bound in the coil to show how vicious Kaliya was. And immediately the parallel that came to my mind was Shishupala, how he kept cursing, and in one sense Krishna let him curse. And so I was curious, why would Krishna want to show the extent of the viciousness of Kaliya? Is there
Emotion. It's not. It's a role reversal. The role reversal meaning that the Vrijvasis are in difficulty and Krishna comes to the rescue. Krishna's in difficulty and the Vrijvasis can't come to the rescue. And then he fixes the problem. But it stimulates that emotion. It's purposeful. That's the purpose. That's the why. And for a long time. And another detail. At the end of the pastime, he goes up on Dwadasya Aditya Tilak and asks the 12 times the intensity of the sun to warm him up because he's been in the water for so long. It's a pastime. He's giving the sun some service. And all these devotees, it's stimulating their mood of service in different ways. And Krishna's in difficulty. Balaram's checking them and smiling, and it's cool. So they're in distress, but at the same time they're in ecstasy because the intensity of their affection has magnified so many times. It's secondary astonishment. It increases their primary rasa through the medium of the secondary rasa. The love becomes magnified, and then it becomes like normal again. So normal, what's normal anyways? Let's go. But the river keeps moving. It keeps getting, another mood. Who knows what your next visit to Guruvayur is going to be like? Stand there with your arms folded and say, I want to stay here. Don't take me away. Or something. Okay, when you remember the first question that you forgot, you remembered it. Okay.
It was from the verse that the very first verse where it's about the crooked mind.
Yes, Kautilya. Did you catch the Sanskrit?
Kautilya.
Kautilya.
Yeah. Jatila, Kutila, like that. Crooked.
Yes. Kutila.
Yeah. It said that it brings distress to the entire world. Is there something you can say about it?
Yeah, I took note of that also. But it's a little bit like, light extends. And the sun light extends, and this is Krishna consciousness is impacted. Everybody, everywhere. Even the people don't know don't know what Krishna is and all of that. It's because his ecstasy is moving things. He's moving things, and his ecstasy is moving things. That's a way to understand the whole world. He's not limited. Wow. A little boy with a sword. Okay. Yes. Amara.
Towards the beginning, there was a slide which mentioned about the bad omens,
Yeah, bad omens.
and it is said that there is no inauspiciousness for Krishna, but demigods were like doing all this to enhance or churn the emotions of Rajavasis, if I understood it correctly. I was thinking that demigods from Bhagavatam, many stories we see that they don't have access to Krishna's pastimes. And
No, wait a minute. They don't have access to participate in, but they have access to visualize.
right. But in one sense, they are, it seems to me like that they are kind of, the emotions of Rajavasis is a very, very delicate
Yeah.
thing. And how are they, like,
You're speaking to demigods now.
Yeah.
How are they?
it's a very delicate space, and how are they trying to serve in this area where
they're
it's very
spectators. It's largely, they sing songs and they dance and they shower flowers and they do demigod things.
yeah.
But they're observers, not participants. They're not rendering service other than those ways that we hear. And sometimes, chanting mantras and creating auspiciousness by their chanting of mantras. But, they're not participating in the Leela.
But they are creating these signs of inauspiciousness,
That's
like
for the
earthquakes.
Leela. Don't fault them. They're helping Krishna. And, how do they get the signal? Krishna's in their heart. Do this, do that, do the other thing. No problem.
Yes, Guru Maharaj. And second thing I was thinking about, Guru Maharaj, is like it is very, very profound that when Mother Yashoda was grieving very intensely, at that time also the elderly gopis were narrating the pastimes of Krishna
And to revive her.
to revive her.
Phew. They're connoisseurs. They really know their business.
Yeah. And I'm also trying to understand, Guru Maharaj, that how does that impact Mother Yashoda?
Well, you put two and two together and you get four. She gets enlivened by hearing about her son.
Yeah.
As a mother will be enlivened. But she's, Mother Jasoda, the mother of Krishna. So she's hearing about Krishna. So it's transcendently revived. Her motherhood plus transcendence, plus, Krishna is the center object. So that's the enlivener. It's the elixir. It's the medicine.
Thank you, Guru Maharaj.
Hearing.
Yeah, it is for application also.
Yeah. Well, we're not there, but
Yeah.
we can understand that little bit we can understand Mother Jashoda's consciousness and how intimately the elder ladies were connected with Mother Yashoda. Krishna's at the center, but she's the mother of Krishna. They're mothers, and so they're reviving her in a way that they know will revive her.
Thank you very much.
And that's their intimacy, because their credential for being a Vrajbasi mother.
Mm-hmm.
They know how to handle Mother Jashoda's emotions and revive her becoming unconscious.
Yeah.
Anybody else? Yes, I was waiting for you. Up the stairs. Keep it simple.
Actually, when you were asking me to stop on my phone, I was actually texting my phone. Taking notes prior and afterwards.
Okay.
Just reply now.
Okay. Confess, not clarify.
It was a clarification, but yes.
Go ahead.
I have two takeaways that I wanted your opinion on. One from today and one from the class on Tuesday evening.
Keep it simple as much as you can. That's the second time I'm asking.
Today's in one of those slides you mentioned that Krishna rose up because he was the cause of suffering in others, and so he decided to rise up.
Yeah.
So for myself, my takeaway is that I want to increase in my Krishna consciousness, so I don't contribute to the suffering of the people near me, around me. That's one takeaway that I have. Any comments on that, Maharaj?
You want me to comment on that? Go for it. And here's a comment. And do it for the sake of Krishna will smile.
Oh.
Next.
And then from the Tuesday class, one thing that caught my attention was Kaliya was, by the poison that he was breathing out, the entire atmosphere was spoiled.
Yeah.
And I was drawing a conclusion, rightly or wrongly, I don't know, that it was because of his envious nature that the poison was coming out of him and vitiating the atmosphere.
Yes.
And so my takeaway is that I have no one else to blame for the atmosphere or the physical surroundings that I'm in. Of course, others also play a part, but I do my own contribution, so I can look toward addressing my contribution to my physical surroundings. That was my takeaway.
Okay. But you're tiny. We're all tiny. So, don't extend your impact on your surroundings too much. And in a blink of an eye, everything can change. So. Okay. Okay.
This might be too loud.
Down volume. Go ahead.
Did I catch one of the slides right, that Krishna was in the grip of Kaliya for 2 hours?
Yeah.
Wow. And so one of the reflections I was having is this: so many unique things about the Kaliya pastime, including the fact that earlier the only one that I thought was unique was the fact that Kaliya was not killed by Krishna, unlike other demons. But of course, there's so many other unique things, including the fact that it's such a long pastime. Everyone's involved, from the cowherd boys to the gopis to all the Vrajavasis, everyone.
Everybody.
And I mean, this is the only.
It's on the same thing. Krishna.
And this is the only demon that seems to have really close confidants who are pretty elevated devotees.
Oh, they're super elevated. That's the whole section. Their prayers. They're very elevated ladies. I don't know where they went to school, but they've got. Go ahead.
And in response to Varsana's question, one of the I thought I saw a slide where you said that part of the reason Krishna allowed Kaliya's viciousness to be displayed in that way was to give reason for why he's going to dismiss him from the lake.
Yeah. But he didn't need, but he did. I mean, and because he was around for a long time, and the atmosphere was totally contaminated, so there's reason. But
one other thought, Maharaj, is you were explaining on Tuesday how there's different layers to any pastime, including the fact that there's dharma explained in addition to rasa. On the dharma level, I found it interesting that they did not push over Balaram and run into the lake, even though the emotions were pretty intense. So they respected, in times of great difficulty, respected the guidance of the Adi Guru, Balaram in this case, to stop them, to check their emotions and do what is instructed to them, which was, I thought that was pretty interesting.
It's very significant. You know, if Balaram's standing there with his arms saying stop, you stop, regardless of emotion. So it's respect, but it's also Balaram. And if they didn't, they'd get spanked. You know, they get some repercussion, some consequence. So respect where respect is due. And these are Vijbasis. They're not just like, impossible people. So respect is part of the culture of Vrindavan. And although his age is young, the same as Krishna, he's like, that with Krishna. So if he says stop, that's another dimension.
One last question, Maharaj, is I have heard, and I heard this actually from Subal Prabhu, that Christmas Day, or the appearance day of Jesus Christ, wasn't actually in Christmas.
Really?
Not on December 25th, given certain conditions of his description of birth, which point more to the summer seasons as opposed to the winter season. So I didn't know if you had any insight into that.
No.
What I heard from him was that he had done some research on it, and Christmas Day was actually established 300 years after Jesus Christ had left. But
Yes.
Guru Maharaj, I just want to second Shiradika Mataji and Varsana Mataji's appreciation of hearing. I was just thinking, yes, Vrajavasis are very attached to Krishna and they're sad. So that's the whole class today. But different images, and that emotions and the Acharya's explanations. It's just so moving and heart melting. And I was just stuck with two things, Guru Maharaj, from today's, where the water overflowed. Some of the Vrajavasis fainted there, but they didn't die because Krishna made the lake and the water devoid of poison just by his touching. So just appreciating that, his potency, how he can make whatever is in the heart, poison or garbage, anything, how he can make the hearts also devoid of that. And the other thing, for Vrajavasis, the three worlds are empty without Krishna.
Which?
The entire three worlds.
Three worlds.
Yeah.
That was her question. Go ahead.
They're just empty without Krishna. And I was thinking, in contrast, Krishna may be there in the picture in life, a part of the day or a little bit here and there. And I'm just thinking, oh, this is my duty, obligations, I need to do this, that, everything. But for them, Krishna is their life and soul.
Yes.
Without that, nothing else is there.
Nothing else.
So, as Balaram was saying, you have to hold on, not jump into the river. Just in case Krishna comes back, you need to be there to take care of him. It's just so moving how their lives are like completely tied with Krishna. Thank you so much. I just want to appreciate the impact.
This is our acharyas and Shukadev Goswami. We're just got a basket and catching some things and distributing those things. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Swami Maharaj ki